Hey everybody, ChickenMan here. Welcome to episode 15 of ChickenMan on the Run. In this episode, I speak to Rachel at Acronicus Nail Bar Salon, something or other. She's super dope. We talk about backyard nail bars, like underground fingernail doing things, the government's shitty communication, how her landlord helped her out, day drinking, not being afraid anymore, how I may be the coronavirus spreader. We talk about the George Floyd protests and how her salon is doing some fundraising to try to help Black businesses that were impacted by all that. Yeah, let's see. My disdain for millennials. Her minor disdain for millennials, since she kind of is one. And then how I don't know how to use Facebook. So I hope you enjoy. This one's pretty fun. I will warn my more conservative folks, there's a minor amount of profanity and conversation about drug use. ChickenMan out. Enjoy. ChickenMan on the Run, episode 15. We're in Denver with Rachel at Acronicus. And what do you do here, Rachel?
I do nails here.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
like fancy nails.
Yeah, kind of like fancy nails. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
We kind of sometimes we do toes, but not yet because I built this whole, I call it the pedicure pussy palace or the pedestal of pedicures. You know,
I love it. Alliteration. That's
as many
good.
P's as you can get in there.
Copy that.
I used to, when I first started, I did pedicures and manicures, and then I stopped because I kind of expanded. And now we've got it back because,
cool.
But yeah, mostly nails.
But
nails,
fingernails, toenails.
That's it.
Just nails in general.
Yeah.
So because you're interfacing so much with people, how did the coronavirus affect you guys?
Sucked. Yeah, it was just kind of this weird thing. I think everybody has their own corona experience, of course.
Yes.
But for me, I work a lot and I don't particularly like the news media.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel better about that, about myself recently. I feel a little bit more like told you so. Like,
oh.
Cause,
what do you mean?
Well, because I don't really know what's going on like in a larger scale. Okay. So like I didn't really know about coronavirus because I don't watch the news and I don't kind of consume that kind of news media.
Why not?
Because I think they all give me the creeps. And they always have. I don't know, like newscasters why do they have to talk like this? Like I just find it disingenuous.
Disingenuous. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you were unawares of what was going on?
Yes, yeah. I was a little unawares. I was caught unawares. And I started actually wearing this respirator. Okay. Like a double hand painter. Yeah. Because a lot of dust happens when I'm removing product. So I started doing that because I was starting to notice like it felt like I had partied for a week inside my nose, but I hadn't. Okay. Or just like was in the desert we are kind of in the desert here, but just started to notice some like respiratory stuff. So I started wearing that in January. And like in February, I remember people making jokes about coronavirus when they would come in. They'd be like, "Oh, are you trying to protect against coronavirus?" And I was like, "What?" And then I kind of heard, that was a tangent. So when it finally kind of happened,
you were already protecting yourself. And you
I was already protecting myself. Exactly. But yeah, when it felt like the pot boiled over really quickly, at least for me here. So we found out, I remember it was like March 13th. It was a Friday the 13th. Yep. I wanted to get tattooed, had to work. Yep. And I had one of my clients who's a doctor and she is in charge. She's like the medical liaison for a bunch of prisons across the country. She's a very interesting lady. Great stories. Incredible stories. And just has been a doctor for like 25 years or so. So she was in here kind of talking about what was going on. And then Indigo's client works for the school districts. Okay. And they both got the text at the same time that the schools were closing and they had to go pick up their kids.
Oh.
So it was just kind of...
so they shut the schools down during the school day?
Yeah, it was like on crazy. A Friday afternoon, or maybe it was Thursday afternoon.
Okay.
But
12, 13. Who's counting?
Yeah. So it was just, that was kind of the moment where it was like, oh, this is really serious, and we're going to have to make some really tough choices.
Yeah.
So we were able to make the decision to close before the state shut us down.
Okay.
And we did that because we just have like a really big, close-knit community here. And because there was so much misinformation on the news media.
Yeah, there was.
And nobody really knew anything, it felt like. We just decided to close early. Our landlord was able to... He has a brother who lives in Spain, so he kind of knew things were a lot worse before we did.
Okay.
So he was able to talk to who he needed to get us some help for rent for April. So he offered that to us before the state shut down. So we were able to kind of proactively say, all right, we're going to close down at least for a couple weeks, see what happens.
When did you close down?
March 16th. It was the Monday.
Okay.
And then the state got shut down, I think the 18th, which was Wednesday. Okay.
And then
we thought it was going to be 2 weeks. And then it was 2 months.
What time is it? Yeah. So you guys responded by shutting down preemptively.
Yeah, because we just wanted people to feel safe. And even if we couldn't provide services for them, we want them to feel safe in our reaction to the news of what was happening.
What has your response been? It's obviously, there's plexiglass behind me. If you can't see it.
It's hanging. It's invisible.
It's
an Invisishield.
Invisishield?
Yeah. Isn't that like fancy, a phone protector case thing? I don't know. I think it is a thing, actually. There's also Invisalign, a.k.a. adult braces.
There you go. Yeah.
The best.
It's like plexiglass, but different.
Yeah.
So what's the state mandated?
Well, so the state, yes,
you're all regulated.
Yes, we're all regulated by DORA, the Department of Regulatory Agencies. Okay. Same, they also regulate barbershops, estheticians, spas, tattoo, massage therapists.
Okay.
So it was really unclear at first, which was tough. So the state got shut down until April 26th or 30th or something like that. And then DORA released this very nebulous, like, okay, you can reopen in a couple weeks with strict precautions.
But they didn't give you a date?
Send.
There was no date or anything?
There was a date, May 8th.
Okay.
Or it was May 1st, but they didn't tell you what strict precautions were.
Okay.
So
just
we were all
figure it out?
I mean, we could kind of piece it together. It's like, we know we're going to have to be 6 feet apart. Yeah. We know we're not going to be able to be at full capacity.
How do you stay 6 feet apart?
Oh, plexiglass. Well, yeah, exactly.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, right. So it was very nebulous. Everybody freaked the fuck out and wrote a bunch of emails, and they were like, great. So the healthcare workers don't even have PPE, but you want us to go back to work holding people's hands and touching them without any regulations or guidelines. Do you use
gloves?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But also that was a huge issue because we couldn't get PPE either. Yeah. We couldn't get gloves. We couldn't get masks. We couldn't get alcohol. I mean, the price of a gallon of alcohol quadrupled for us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they were rationing them.
Okay.
I think they still are.
Well, when I left LA, you couldn't get plastic gloves anywhere.
Yeah.
So. Like
it took me, I kind of knew it was going to be a problem. So I started looking, mid-April. I don't know. It was just stressful as hell.
But you were able to find stuff finally.
Yeah, finally.
Okay. And so when did you open?
We reopened June 1st. So we could have reopened May 9th. So they said May 1st at first, and then everybody freaked out and they pushed it to May 9th. And then we wanted to just give it a couple weeks, kind of like, the decision to reopen was so much more difficult than the decision to close, which was interesting because there was so much nebulous information and uncertainty.
Because they weren't. That's been a constant theme of like the government entities being like, yeah, we don't know, kind of good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50% seems cool.
60% of the time it works all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we found out that we weren't all able to be in the shop working at the same time. So there's a 10-person per space minimum. But if you're like a big funky hair salon that has 20 stylists, or a barbershop that has 10 barbers, plus clients, that would be 20 people. So you had to cut down to 5. So there was 10. But if you were a shop of less than the 10 number, you had to cut your workforce in half.
Okay.
And it like broke your brain reading the because I couldn't even tell you what did I just say? Like I don't know. How do you word that?
Well, that was, in LA at one point they were saying for barbers it was or hairstylists it was like one stylist could be in the building at a time, and you're like, there's 15 chairs in here. What are
we gonna do?
None of it. Yeah.
Everybody's gonna go underground.
How have you guys? Oh yeah, backyard.
I mean, backyard nail bar.
I love it.
Don't put that in there.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
That's what my mentor, she deals a lot with, Dora, and she has a salon with 10 booth renters. Okay. And they're all pretty separated, like with partitions and this kind of stuff. And there was a point that they said, even if there's partitions, you can't have more than the capacity in there, which was just like so dumb.
Well, that's what a lot of it seems kind of duplicitous.
So that's going to force people underground. It's going to force people to go work at their houses. Like people can't pay their booth rent. People can't pay their rent.
So financially, how's it impacted you?
I mean, really shit.
Not working.
Yeah. I mean, it's been really tough. I've been very fortunate in that my landlord here helped us.
Okay.
And
how the landlord helped you?
He was just able to get us a little bit of break on our rent.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Because his brother knew and he talked to the people and blah, blah, blah. So that was nice. I didn't have like the full brunt of that. And then at my house, I was able to work out a deal with my landlord as well, where I was able to kind of.
Did you take advantage of like the PPE loans?
Tried.
So none of that?
I think I spent most of April applying for grants, loans.
And nothing came through?
I was able to get a little advance on the SBA EIDL one. I was able to get unemployment finally, which was super helpful.
Are you 1099 or LLC or?
I am 1099.
Yeah. So
my business is an S corp, but I file my personal taxes as 1099.
Yeah. So unemployment was a pain in the butt.
If I had faith in the systems of our government before April, after April, completely fucked. And now after June, even more fucked.
I think especially everybody in our sort of I'm sometimes W-2, but sometimes 1099, but very they look at you have one job. That's all they can deal with. And we're like, no, you don't understand.
Hands in all of the things.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was just tough. It was tough. But my dude was working, which was great.
And he's been working the whole time?
He's been working the whole time. Good. He stayed home that first week when we were trying to figure it out. Because I feel like there was more fear then. I was thinking, if I'm staying home from work, shutting my business down, and you're fucking going to work every day. Yeah. That kind of.
What's the point?
Yeah. What's the point?
You're still crossing the streams, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's in construction, so he's able. They've been pretty safe.
Are they having to wear masks and everything?
Oh yeah, they're wearing respirators. So they get temp checked, and he.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He was working on a site with only one or two other guys, and it was a hotel, so he barely saw anybody. It was fine. He just come home, take his clothes off while I watched, and then he would go shower.
That's a deal. There you go. That worked out for you, huh?
And we were hardcore for 8 weeks.
Oh, really?
Wiped our groceries down, did the whole.
How do you feel about it now? Are you scared of, are you worried for your health?
No, I feel way less scared. Okay. I think there was a turning point in the haze of an 11:30 a.m. Coors Light after a night of,
day drinking
chicken wings.
Weird.
And lots of French fries. Yeah, exactly. And woke up and just kind of decided that I didn't want to feel so afraid anymore.
Yeah.
And that was an important turning point.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So I feel less afraid now, but also very responsible for my clientele.
Right. So how are your employees feel?
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not concerned.
I mean, I think that they're Indigo's got 2 babies.
Okay.
So, and her dude is a tattooer. So they're kind of both in the same industry. Lane's husband is a musician. So he's just like, but they feel similarly. I mean, they've been safe and taken it really seriously. And now it's like we're working with clients again. So I feel like it's our responsibility to continue to take precaution and be smart and courteous of our fellow humans.
That's why I'm wearing a mask when I go in places. It's courtesy.
It's courtesy.
That's really all it is at this point.
Do you feel like if you didn't have to wear the mask for courtesy, you wouldn't?
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a risk taker, I guess.
Yeah, but that's okay.
From everything I've read and everything I understand, I think in the long run, what we're going to figure out is it's about as dangerous as the flu. And I'm 41 years old. Have a healthy immune system.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing. I don't take flu shots. There's nothing for me to worry.
Flu shot.
So the mic still works when you're.
Oh shit. This is classic. This is great.
That's good.
Perfect.
No flu shots in here. So I'm not scared at all. I'm also, legitimately, I'm traveling through how many states in like 6 weeks. So if anybody's a problem, it's going to be me.
It's you. Yeah. Great. Don't tag me in this.
I'm the great.
My clients.
I'm the great virus spreader.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding. We're 6 feet away. It's fine.
We are.
Yeah.
Don't spit on me later.
No. Okay. Just a lot of sneezing. No. My allergies are killing me. Well, so the next thing I want to talk about is the murder of George Floyd, which is not an easy transition.
Well, no, but
because nobody wants to fucking talk about it because it was disgusting to see.
Yeah, I actually could not watch the video.
Yeah.
I think I got about, I don't know. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. And it was really weird timing, which a lot of things are, I guess. But it was my birthday, the 27th of May, and he was murdered the 25th of May. And I was in the desert in Taos with my phone off, eating some acid.
Okay.
All my clients already know this. Doing a little plant medicine in the desert, trying to just get right before starting work again. So I actually didn't know what had happened really until the 28th. So coming... Oh,
trippy.
Okay. Yeah, it was really very, very trippy. I see what you did there. I don't know. It was just, it was a wild spot to be in, coming back from that experience and coming right into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that feel around here? Like, I know Denver had some, I know there was good protesting, but then there was also some negative shit that happened.
There was some negative shit. There was the, oh, look, a brick pile.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. There were definitely plainclothes police officers in the crowd starting shit. There were people getting tear gassed. I mean, we were sitting outside on a evening and it was kind of windy and we got tear gas, like gusts. I mean, it's just wild. One of my clients was doing like medic work because they have a background in medical. So they were at the protests helping medically speaking, and they dealt with one of the 22-year-old kid got shot in the eye with a rubber bullet and is blind, and they're going through all of these, pressing charges and all this stuff. And I mean, it was just a really crazy time to start seeing people again after not seeing people for 2.5 months. So I knew coming back to work, we were going to talk about coronavirus like we just did. And we were going to talk about did you do sourdough or did you do,
I was smoking meat the whole time. I tried a little sourdough. I wasn't that into it.
Yeah.
No, they're like ribs and chicken.
Whatever.
Whatever.
It's fine. Whatever. It's fine. So I knew we were going to talk about that. I was a little nervous just taking on the energetic load of for a lot of people being the first person that they're seeing outside of their, their pod or their partner or whatever. And then on top of that, this incredibly intense.
The weight of that.
civil rights issues and concerns, and like fucking at one point like very intense and a little bit like clenchy, and at another point like incredibly moving, inspirational, awesome, because never in my lifetime have I seen this system even bend a little bit, really. So there's parts of it that are just like feel so inspiring and incredible, and then there's also like the responsibility that I was just talking about to my clients, where I feel like going out and protesting seemed like a thing that wasn't smart for what I had just done to be able to reopen my business safely.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. So there's a lot.
You want to participate, but
Yeah. So we did a huge fundraiser. So
dope. Okay.
Indigo is Black, and she got to organize this awesome fundraiser for the Black beauty community. So we did that. We've kind of been doing that all of June. Because I wanted to do something. It was like, oh, ask Indigo what she wants to do. And she
That's
just
a good solution.
and she just like went with it, and she was able to raise over $25,000, which is so cool.
Great.
So we worked on the 20th. Her and I both did like 11 manicures in here, back to back, hour slots, worked all fucking day. Lane did like 9. And then just a bunch of other service providers, tattooers, hairstylists, barbers, all contributed, did raffles and stuff like that. So she's found like 3 to 5 Black-owned beauty businesses to donate to, like specifically to them. So one of them is a nail salon in Chicago, and their shop just got torn up in the riots. Like they had floor-to-ceiling windows just destroyed. Yeah. So, yeah.
I had a friend in Long Beach, 10-year-old barbershop. He's Black. Everybody that worked there was Black. Yeah. Burnt to the ground. And he's just like, dope. That was helpful.
You should send me his info afterwards, because I think they're like
I think they did a GoFundMe.
Okay, cool.
And I'm pretty sure
his name's
Fontaine. He's dope. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was like the target was $50,000, and in 24 hours it was like 55.
Yes.
And he's like, dope. I'm good. We can restart. We can rebuild. And
fuck yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just been interesting. And it's like with my clientele, most of them I've known for between a year and 3 years, 3.5 years, 4 years. Some of them started with me right when I started doing nails. And it was kind of intense coming into work and be like, oh my God, am I going to have to fire people because they are, saying some fucked up shit in my shop?
You mean fire clients?
Fire clients, yeah.
Fire employees?
No.
How's that been? Have people said? Like, what's your general consensus on?
My like softball, my pitch.
Oh, you?
I just lob it over there.
Okay.
So did you go to any of the protests? Oh, nice. And then it's like, we know what we're talking about, and I can gauge the reaction, and nobody has been like, no. Yeah. Everybody has been super cool. They've either already donated to the fundraiser, they're doing stuff, they're buying a shirt that goes to the fundraiser. I would say probably half my clients participated in protests. Some of them didn't want to tell me because they were like, we just did the COVID thing, so is it okay that I went?
A trick of the thing. Well, so I'm going to lead the witness a little bit. The last person I talked to, he's 64, Bob Kelly. He's a Texan. He's a dope dude. And he was like, this is the first time where he was like, oh, I have to be active. Yeah. His response was, he's like, I don't feel like I've ever done anything bad, but I've not done anything good. Yeah. And so it was really cool to hear that viewpoint and him kind of explain that. Is that what you're seeing more, or? I feel like I love that he's 60 because he's not like a social media person. Like he's probably not on Instagram. In media, he has the same thing. He's like, it's all biased. CNN, Fox, I can't listen to any of it. None of it. He's like, I listen to NPR. Kind of, but even that has a tent, and he's like, yeah, so he's totally kind of out of it. Yeah, and I feel like it's not out of it, but not in the loop. Yeah, and he's not like seeing all of these,
memes or posts or information or videos and all of this stuff. And I think that kind of content certainly has its place in this and is so incredible at facilitating so many parts of this movement. Yeah. And it's also like sometimes I have felt personally like sometimes I don't know what is the right way to go if I'm listening to the internet. So that's where I'm just trying, for me personally, to turn to the folks in my life that have experience, or the Black folks in my life, or the people of color, Indigenous people in my life. And I'm like, hey, let me know how I can help. Outside of all of the things, like I feel like one of my email address inboxes is just from all of the petitions I've been signing and all of the emails I've been sending. It's just like I have a treat through that at the end of the day and kind of like read the new stuff. Because I feel like those organizations are at least disseminating some good, legitimate information. Yeah. So, it's been really interesting. Yeah. Really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I just tangented again. No.
That's the whole point of this. Yeah, it's a conversation. Cool.
Great. Yeah.
Tangents are great.
Tangents.
So 2020. Now that we're 6 months into it,
I mean, again, I feel like it's an unprecedented time to be alive. Yeah. I mean, I remember vaguely seeing the Rodney King stuff on TV when I was little. I'm 36, so but I mean, it's.
I feel like as gnarly as it's been, we're actually starting to see the beginning of some that
chipping away, and that feels really cool. Yeah. I think my favorite is it meme? Meme? Oh,
yeah, one of those things.
Yeah. It was like a Venn diagram of all of the sci-fi movies, like Dune, 1984, Handmaid's Tale, The Matrix, Clockwork Orange, Brave New World, all of these things.
2020's in the middle.
And then like You Are Here, right in the middle of it. Yeah. And it feels absolutely crazy, but also exciting. I fucking love that all the Gen Zers like fucked up Trump's rally in Tulsa. That was so cool to read about. God, you guys are smart. Maybe
am I Gen Z?
No.
Oh,
I don't know why I said that. So, like the young kids,
younger ones. They're like under millennials, right?
Yes,
You're a millennial.
I'm cuspy. I'm a cuspy millennial. Yeah, well,
I'm.
What are you, Gen Y? Gen X.
Yeah. Okay. So I still have disdain for millennials.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, some of us are horrible.
Some of us are horrible.
True.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag.
The interesting stuff is like the older generations in this too. Man,
I've been having some interesting conversations.
Tough with the cuties and my folks, and we were supposed to have a little bit of a family reunion of sorts this year. Our family is pretty shit at getting together with one another, and I just don't think that I want to do that. Because I also don't know them well enough to really know. I quit Facebook after my divorce and the 2016 election. So I don't catch up. I feel like that's where families go to pretend like they
I just got back on Facebook like 7 days ago.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm already. That? It's kind of yucky there.
I don't even understand it.
Yeah.
I feel like an old person or a Luddite where I'm like on it and I'm like a bunch of people said a thing and it seems like a big waste of my time.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I just did it so I could post this stuff so more people would see it.
I figured.
Because that's the whole point the whole point of this is to tell all of our individual stories because the media is kind of full of shit. But
yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you have anything you want to add? Any thoughts, tangents?
I don't know.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Wear your mask.
Anything you want to promote? Shop Instagram or anything like that?
Yeah. Well, Indigo's fundraiser is still up.
Oh, there you go. Where's that?
Which is dope. It doesn't have an Instagram, but her Instagram is at fingerspice666.
Finger. Finger
spice.
Okay.
That's a fun story.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to know.
No, it's actually not as nefarious as I make it sound. But when you cure, when we apply gel polish, like the clear base gel, which is you put next to the nail plate, is clear, and gel polish cures through light. So like film or photo paper, like once it's exposed to light, the chemical reaction starts.
Right.
So the UV light is what initiates it.
Okay.
And because all of those molecules are now interacting and doing all this stuff to form a hardened, cured surface on the nail, it can get hot because all of this friction is happening on your nail plate. So we always say like, oh, it could get spicy.
That's dope.
Yeah. So that's that.
Yeah, that's good.
I think it's still linked in her bio. The website is unityforbbc.com. Black beauty community. I know. Yeah. There we go. So that's still up for donations, I think, through the end of June.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And your shop is just the name?
It's just Acronicus, which in Greek means having nails, claws, talons, or hooves.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
So it's pretty on the nose.
It's pretty on the nose.
But it's a cool name.
I mean, I thought it was after nail school. Everybody's like incapable of pronouncing it, even though I phonetically spelled it underneath my, like the first thing you see is Acronicus, and then right underneath, like in a dictionary.
How you pronounce it?
Yeah, but nobody knows.
Nobody knows how to look at a dictionary.
Nope. Like just pretty pictures. That's all I see. Yeah.
Well, thanks for your time.
Thanks for coming in here. And
beautiful shop. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah. It's pretty all right.
All right. What episode did I say this was?
15?
ChickenMan.
666. No.
If I get to that number.
That'll be dope.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
This 2020 will last very long and be very much worse.
Never ending.
ChickenMan on the Run episode 15.
15.
Yeah. Out. That was great.